The first thing your hybrid meeting needs is a microphone in the room so that your online participants can hear the in-room participants. For small to medium-sized meeting rooms, I recommend using a conference speakerphone, and we'll talk about bigger rooms in a moment. A conference speakerphone has multiple microphones, and they will pick up the voices of everybody who is sitting around the device. It also has a speaker system, and that's going to play back the voices of everybody who is joining the meeting online, and that is in fact the second requirement for a great hybrid meeting. My favorite conference speakerphone is this Beyerdynamic Space, but I've also used models from Poly. There's links to all these products in the description below the video. There are two main benefits to using a conference speakerphone. Number one is that it handles all the audio with the microphones and the speakers. It handles the audio in and the audio out of the meeting. Number two is the flexibility when it comes to connections. You can connect it with a USB cable into a laptop, or you can use the Bluetooth connection to connect it into a laptop or a smartphone. An alternative to using a conference speakerphone is to set up a microphone in a dedicated speaking area in the room. That microphone could be this $20 Lavalier mic that I used in my early hybrid meetings. It could be a microphone like this one, a dynamic microphone, which is very directional. It could be a boundary mic that you connect with a USB cable, or it could be a wireless microphone system. If your room is big enough to have an in-room amplification system, you can easily connect that into a hybrid meeting as well. Typically, you would connect all your microphones in the room into this mixing desk, and then you can connect that very easily with a USB cable into a laptop. And then all the audio from the microphones will be mixed into one microphone signal, and then you can choose that in your video conferencing software. This works similarly for the sound out. You have your conversations coming in from Zoom, they go through the mixing desk, and that is played back through the speaker system in the room. The reason why this is easy to set up is that most modern mixing desks, they have a USB connection. Let me know in the comments if you would like to learn more about this approach. The third technical requirement for a great hybrid meeting is a camera in the room so that your online participants can see the in-room participants. But really, you should have multiple cameras in the room. For example, you can have one pointing at the stage or the speaking area, and then another one or two cameras that will show the rest of the in-room participants to the meeting. For the camera setup, you can use an external webcam connected to a laptop. You could potentially even use the built-in camera in your laptop. But the very best solution and the most flexible solution is to use a phone as a camera. If you're using Zoom, for example, it's very easy to log in with multiple devices into the same meeting with the same user account. And this is actually what I recommend for beginners. In my mind, there are two main benefits to this approach. Number one is that it's very easy to add more and more cameras to the setup. And number two is that it's very flexible. You can easily move around a phone camera, which may not be so easy to do with a dedicated external webcam, for example. If you're going to be adding multiple devices in the room into your Zoom meeting, one thing you have to do is disconnect the audio on all those other devices. If you don't disconnect the audio, you will get audio feedback between the devices. I have a dedicated video about this. Check it out with the link in the description. Another camera solution for hybrid meetings is to use a dedicated video conferencing system. The one that I've tried is the Poly Studio. Another alternative is the Meeting Owl Pro. These systems will automatically track the person who's speaking in the room, but they are a bigger investment. The fourth technical requirement is to have a screen in the room so that the people who join in the room can see the online participants. The screen in the room could be a projector, a flat screen TV, or even a large computer monitor. Ideally, you will have a setup where there is a big screen in one end of the room and all the in-room participants are looking in the same direction when an online participant is speaking. One question that often comes up is, can we allow all of our participants to bring their individual laptops so that they can use the screen there? And I do not recommend this approach. The only way this will work is if everybody in the room is incredibly diligent and in fact disconnect the audio from their laptops. If they don't do that, you will get audio feedback and your meeting will be ruined. Requirement number 5 is stabilization. You need something to hold up your cameras and potentially your screens and your lights as well. One of my favorite pieces of stabilization equipment is this desk clamp. You can easily attach this to a table in the meeting room. Then at the other end of this desk stand, You can attach your camera, for example. That could be a phone if you use a phone clamp like this, or it could be a webcam or a real camera. This particular model can hold up to 6 kilos. At the end, it has a ball head, which makes it super easy to adjust the angle of your camera. This particular model is from SmallRig, and I really, really like it. I use it in my hybrid meetings, but I actually have 2 of them. One of them is holding my LED video light right now as I'm recording this video. There are many other types of stabilization equipment that you could use for your hybrid meetings as well. For example, it could be a traditional camera tripod or a little tabletop tripod like this. This is also super flexible. This one is from Ulanzi. Requirement number 6 is the software that will run your hybrid meetings. I typically use Zoom, and that is what I recommend to my clients as well. What I really like about Zoom is this ability to log in with multiple phones into the same meeting with the same account, which will allow you to easily add multiple cameras. Another benefit of Zoom is that you can host a meeting from multiple devices. It could be a laptop, and that is maybe the most traditional solution, but it could also be a tablet or a phone. In fact, when I set up the simplest version of my hybrid meeting, I have this iPhone working as the main camera, but it is also connected to the Bluetooth conference speakerphone, which means that it is also handling audio in and audio out, all on the one iPhone. In this setup, there is a laptop in the room, but its purpose is to run the projector. Requirement number 7 is to have a stable and high-capacity internet connection in the room. If you do have the possibility of connecting with a cable, then that's an excellent choice, but you can definitely run a great hybrid meeting over just Wi-Fi. Zoom is really good at adapting the video quality to the available bandwidth. So if the bandwidth is a bit limited, you may get lower video quality, but the audio will keep going, and that is the right prioritization. If your venue has great Wi-Fi, then definitely use it. But you can actually also run a great hybrid meeting with just mobile data. If you're getting value from the video, hit the like button. There are links to additional resources in the description below the video. This includes additional videos about specific topics we've been talking about, or the product links, of course, and there you can also pick up my free hybrid meeting checklist. And if you'd like to hire me for your next event, please get in touch. contact@markuspresents.com. I mentioned the critical importance of avoiding audio feedback when using multiple devices in the room. Click or tap the screen right here to watch my full video that explains the problem and the different solutions that are available to you. Thank you for watching. My name is Markus Seppälä.